Before we begin, be sure to share the video. Sharing the video is very easy. Attached to this video is the share button. Press it. Copy the link or choose a social media platform and share the video. Thank you in advance. This will encourage more people to see this video. Full joy, the program. Introducing Ethiopia's Freedom Tours. What is an Ethiopian Freedom Tour? We are giving you the opportunity to visit us in Ethiopia on your terms. You pick the date, summer, spring, October, or December. It's your choice. 3 days, 5 days, 7 or 9 days. It's your choice. Several options to choose from. Tour Addis Ababa. Tour Shashamani, Hawassa and Wando Genet, Lalibela and Aksum, or a combination of them all. It's all up to you. Need more information? Check our Freedom Tour booklet. Press the link in the description or email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Ethiopia Freedom Tours. When will you be coming?
For the last time, Ethiopia's warlords and warriors assembled in Addis Ababa. Solemnly they circled St. George's Cathedral, drawing strength from heaven and the emperor as the invading armies drove deeper into Ethiopia. For the last time, the emperor led the procession around the Coptic church, heart of an ancient Christian tradition threatened by Rome.
And we definitely give thanks to the Eternal Father, Zilbiri Masagan, I'm a second life giver and the keeper of life. Blessed love royal family, Tigers Temple. And once again, we are somewhat chronicling the events of the war, 1936 to 41, when Mussolini and Italy invaded Ethiopia under the leadership of Emperor Haile Selassie I. And again, as the narrator just said, you could clearly see us going around in ceremonial form, going around the Coptic church, the cathedral, really, definitely drawing the energy from the universe to go forth into battle, go against and eventually destroy the invaders. Now we are going to look at something that is very somewhat even tantamount to witchcraft. This is something that you would read in some sort of fable book talking about the Mussolini actually somewhat marrying all of the women of Rome in ceremonial fashion as well. This is serious because of the importance of gold again, which we did that episode on our YouTube channel, which you should check. It's very important why England needed Ethiopia in World War II. It highlights the importance of gold, AU, gold. And Mussolini ordered all the wives of Italy to come with their wedding rings. And they would put it in this big melting pot and create usable gold for Italy so that they can continue to fund the war. Imagine that. Italy already had so much ammunition and so much power, 100 times, even more, and no, I'm not exaggerating, and so do you, than what Ethiopia had. And because of the resistance by Haile Selassie and the Ethiopian people, they had to go back to the drawing board and ask the women to give up their wedding rings, gold rings, so that they can create bars of gold, so that they can get more ammunition. Can you imagine that? That's how heavy the Ethiopian warriors were at that time going against the Italians. But here it is. The rings were replaced with brass rings, which carries this into a next level all by itself. So this is some sort of ritualistic. You believe in rituals, don't you? Whether you do it or not, you do it. Everyone does it. You may not even understand what's going on, but rituals are just a natural part of life. This is some ritual taking place here, while the god figure Mussolini is being wedded off to all the women of Rome. I'm sure you could read it in some folklore somewhere. Let us definitely take a look at this.
On December the 18th, the Fascist Association of War Widows and War Mothers staged a nationwide pledge of support for Mussolini's war. The Italian people joined together in a sacrifice of gold for the honor of Italy. Queen Elena led the women of Rome up to the altar of the nation.
Il nostro saluto alle gloriose bandiere, agli ufficiali e soldati di terra, di mare, dell'aria, alle camicie nere, agli operai, agli ascari fedeli. Buon Natale!
The sacrifice was Italy's symbolic answer to the League of Nations.
That's the voice of Queen Helena. What a voice. And she's pleading for the full support for the officers and the loyal airmen and the Air Force and all of that stuff. And you hear what the narrator refers to this as the sacrifice. So as you can see the wreath, you can see all of the symbols.
Agli operai, agli ascari fedeli.
You even see the big pot where the gold is going to be thrown into. I'm not sure. It looks like they're going to melt that right away.
Buon Natale.
And again, all their symbols and wreaths.
Sacrifice was Italy's symbolic answer to the League of Nations and its feeble economic sanctions. Firm action by the European powers at the League could have stopped Mussolini's war in Ethiopia. Sanctions merely united the Italian people behind the Duce and his war. 250,000 Romans came to sacrifice their gold wedding rings in a crucible smoldering with incense.
250,000 people, citizens, came to sacrifice their gold ring. The women of Rome belonged to Mussolini. And the stuff they're throwing it in, he says, incense was in there. Real sacrifice, real ceremony.
250,000 Romans came to sacrifice their gold wedding rings in a crucible smoldering with incense. In return, the state gave them a ring of iron.
Pardon me. Pardon me. It's not a ring of brass they received. Pardon me. Please forgive I. It was a ring of iron. Now you just meditate on that. And again, I even said that before, because remember, Rome is the kingdom of iron. Rome is also the kingdom of iron and clay mingled together. The same iron and clay that the stone, according to Daniel, that came out of the mountain would have just crushed that same feet with the toes of clay and iron, and the whole statue would have fallen. Another story for another time, covered it already, we'll cover it again, but it's just comprehension of what is even taking place right here. So they give them rings of brass. I'm saying brass. Rings of iron, pardon me. Rings of iron, one more time. Rings of iron to replace the rings of gold that were given unto them by the people. Let's check this stuff again. This is real.
The sacrifice was Italy's symbolic answer to the League of Nations and its feeble economic sanctions. Firm action by the European powers at the League could have stopped Mussolini's war in Ethiopia. Sanctions merely united the Italian people behind the Duce and his war. 250,000 Romans came to sacrifice their gold wedding rings in a crucible smoldering with incense. In return...
So it's as if it is a wedding taking place here, you know. A fairy tale, fable, somewhat storybook, wedding folklore, European wedding, witchcraft, wedding.
And the state gave them a ring of iron. Italy's women now belong to Mussolini.
Italy's women now belong to Mussolini. I didn't say so. Well, I just said so, but I'm repeating what was said by the narrator here, because he clearly sees it's not just a political move, but symbolic in many ways. He used the term literally, symbolic. And sacrifice, incense. Italy's women now belong to Mussolini. So you can see, many of you know what dabbling in what they call dark magic is all about. In the islands, they call it obia and all sorts of things. Somewhere else, they may refer to it as voodoo. Terms that are coming from an ancient place, which has a real ancient meaning, not necessarily the smutty magic that some play around with to harm other people's children so they do not progress in life. These things are real. I would have seen this with my eyes, several times. No one can tell me for sure that people do not have the ability to dabble in the spirit world and make it appear in the physical world on some different levels. I've seen that. I know what that's about, me personally. And I'm talking on them domestic levels there, which some of you know what I'm talking about. In the Caribbean islands, you have many people you can go to and pay them money for them to go and cripple your neighbor or do something to your enemy. It happens. These things happen. So I'm just speaking of my knowledge of that world of darkness, which is what it is. That means, obviously, for those of you who grew up and saw some of that, there must be a world of spiritual light that has as much or more power than them foolishness. That's why you tap into the spiritual world. You don't even think about that. You have enemies, especially if you are doing the word or the work and spreading the word of the Most High. You must have enemies that are trying to light candle and voodoo doll you, as they would call it. You don't even have to think about them. That's not even your business. You just continue to live up. Them dead Psalms ain't reaching nowhere. They cannot touch you if you're living clean, pure, honest, upful, righteous, doing your best. Carry out the commandments of the Most High. You know yourself. And you eat properly, man, you're on the ball. And you do no one no harm. You try to rob no one, and man, you're on the ball. You don't even have to think about anybody, writing your name and putting it in no book and closing it. That will never work. Some other being is taking care of that. You look about, your domestic affairs and your family and that stuff. That is taken care of. And I'm just saying all of that to say that world, and I bring it in the village there for you a moment ago. But on another level, that runs the world. Politics. When you see people come on TV and get sworn in to take this ministerial post and this governorship, and they swore in before, off camera, on some different levels. This is just for the show. This is the entertainment part of it. So ceremony, my point, rituals, the spirit world is in everything of importance. This is a war. You just saw that we marched around the church and collected the spirit of ancestors and Menelik II and Rasmussen and Rasalula and the whole works to go into battle with these dragons here. And the dragons now, imagine that, with all of their might and power, getting such a blow from us that they have to go and get reinforcement from their people, because no government's lending them money now, and the League of Nations cut them off. But look what they do. They take the wedding rings, that vow that you made of oneness between you, your wife, and of course your family too, and put it in a melting pot to be brought to bars to go and fight Ethiopia. And don't lose this point. In return, you got rings of iron.
Feeble economic sanctions. Firm action by the European powers at the League could have stopped Mussolini's war in Ethiopia. Sanctions merely united the Italian people behind the Duce and his war. 250,000 Romans came to sacrifice their gold wedding rings in a crucible smoldering with incense. In return, the state gave them a ring of iron. Italy's women now belong to Mussolini.
Italy's women now belong to Mussolini. And knowing them, I'm sure a few Italian men were his as well. Crush the dragon, crush the beast. Royal family, give thanks. Stay royal and stay loyal. Tigers Temple, Abata Chinjanoi. Let us Emmanuelize Lassia. Ja Rastafari.
Attention! Join us in Ethiopia from the 20th to the 29th of July 2026 for the Lion of Judah Tour, as we celebrate the 134th anniversary of Emperor Haile Selassie I, Emperor of Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa, we will visit the Grand Jubilee Palace, the University of Addis Ababa Imperial Palace, the Throne Room and Palace of Menelik II, and of course, the Science Museum, the National Museum, the Battle of Adwa Museum, and so much more. Then we go south to Shashamane and visit the hot springs and waterfalls of Wando Genet. And don't forget the summer palace of the Emperor. Come prepared to rock Naya. Remember that the Lion of Judah Tour is all inclusive. Your meals, your accommodations, transportation, and so much more. Plus, take advantage of our 50%, 30%, and 20% discounts that are available. For more information or to register, email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The Lion of Judah Tour. What a gathering. I will see you there.
For all those who are planning to be with us in July for the Lion of Judah Tour from the 20th to the 29th, we have created a booklet answering all the questions that you would have as it relates to this upcoming tour. The itinerary is also included in the booklet. You can get the booklet in PDF form by emailing us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. But in the description below the video, you have the link to the digital flipbook version of this booklet, The Lion of Judah Tour. You get all the information on where we will be going on our events. You have all the information as it relates to the special discounts, the 50%, the 40%, the 30%, and of course the full price, which is still very economical for the grand tour that you will be getting, the marvelous package that we would have put together for this upcoming Lion of Judah tour. So again, press the link in the description below for the online flipbook, or email us if you prefer the PDF, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com.
Nearly half the population of Ethiopia now is under the age of 15, and for Haile Selassie their education has always been an obsession.
Salam Nacho to all Ethiopian lineage, children and parents. Introducing the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Ethiopian History Essay Competition from the 5th of May to the 2nd of November 2026.
He's taken personal charge of the Ministry of Education, sought teachers and money for more schools from half the countries in the world, and turned one of his palaces into a university.
Children 7 to 17 will write an essay entitled "What Does Ethiopian History Mean to Me?" Prizes such as laptops and tablets to be won, trips to the Science Museum, Unity Park, and others
for the full class of the winners from Axum to Lalibela, Menelik the First and Menelik the Second, Ethiopia's history is amongst the richest in the world. For more information, join us on most social media platforms at Priest Isaac, or email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The Ethiopian History Essay Competition. Know your heritage.
He's directly responsible for whatever schooling these youngsters get.
To everyone who has been asking, Priest Isaac, how can I make a contribution to the Institute? Press the link in the description and you'll get all the information that you need to do such. We truly appreciate your inquiry. For more information, email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Sign up today for the Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy course and take advantage of our 50% off. The 50% discount is for a limited time and you will receive the full course for only $99.99 United States dollars. The Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy, professionally done. The graphics are definitely top-notch. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Designed for the mature mind and also for the young